What's going on, YouTube? It's Max here from Team Voltage, and I'm here with Jeff Jones, who just took first place at the UDS in Orlando. So, what deck did you play?
I played Pendulum Magicians. I went undefeated basically through the entire event. I went 11-0 in Swiss, and then gave my opponent the win round 12. Went all the way to the finals, where I actually played the person I gave that win to and won that match. So I basically was 14-1 technically, but I did not lose a match the entire tournament. So I guess I'll just show you the deck. Start off, we have obviously the starter: 3 Joker, 3 Wisdom Eye, 3 Double Iris, 3 Purple Poison, and something a lot of people do not use is 3 Black Fang Magician. Black Fang Magician is actually my favorite out of all the Magician monsters. Most people play 1, 2, or even 0. I'm pretty sure some of my opponents didn't play this card. Its skill effect lets you target an opponent's monster and have its attack, and then destroy itself. And when it gets destroyed, you target a Dark Spellcaster in grave and special summon it. This card lets you play around Strike and Warning if people are using it. Strike is terrible against this deck if you know what you're doing. It really lets you play through the grind games. The Xyz monster for them is a Dark Spellcaster, and you can bring it back from grave and apply its effect. It lets you do a lot of different OTKs for summoning monsters from grave, because you're overlaying a lot for Xyz monsters in this deck, so all your dark monsters go to grave. Just make sure that in the late game to mid game, or mid to late game, that you can keep bringing back monsters and overwhelm your opponent. The fact that half your opponent's monsters attack also lets you do a lot of OTKs, because Double Iris lets you do double damage. So, yeah, I think that's basically about that. 3 Harmonizing Magician, 2 Astrograph Sorcerer, 2 Perform Repel Pendulum Sorcerer. This is the only Perform Repel I play alongside Joker. Some people are playing the Snake and Geeturtle and Lizard Draw. I think those cards are terrible. They're basically Garnet when you draw them. People are playing them, so when you Pendulum Summon, obviously you want to use its effect to destroy Double Iris. But usually destroy 2 cards, search Lizard Draw and Geeturtle, and then draw 2 cards. But the thing is, in this deck, you don't play like trap cards or anything like that, so it's what are you really trying to draw into? I don't really think it's worth it. You're just going to draw more monsters to play next turn, but you could just have those cards be monsters anyway. So I just played this to kill Iris and search for Joker. That way I could use my Xyz summon on Star Time Magician and search for Astrograph instead of having to search for Joker. So I'd have Joker on Astrograph. And then for the last Magicians, 1 Oak Dragon. I almost wanted to play 2 of this card. I hate banishing it off Desires. It really helps, again, like in the mid game and the grind game. You can get back the Harmonizing Magician, which can't be Pendulum Summon the extract, so you just add it back to hand and Pendulum Summon next turn. And then hand traps 3 Ash and Maxi.
How was Ash for you?
Ash is broken. It was always good.
Ash is crazy.
I don't think Ghost Ogre is very good. Ghost Ogre sucks versus this deck too if you know what you're doing. For the spells, 3 Duelist Alliance.
Why 3? I know a lot of people really don't like playing with more than even 1.
So the deck is a lot of 3-ofs, and because of that, your hands are very consistent. They're almost always the same, and that's why I love this deck. My hands were like never bad. I think I drew 1 bad hand over the entire tournament. I never drew a hand was like shit, like I can't do anything. And Duelist Alliance helps that. They make sure that if you have like 1 piece, you'll always have another. It searches Pendulum Sorcerer, so you can always pop your scales, and it searches the trap, it searches the spell, and it searches Double Iris and Pendulum Call. I really don't think I'd ever run less than 3. 3 Pod Desires. Near the end of the tournament, I kept drawing 2 of them. At one point, I actually drew all 3 of these, but I feel like in my mirror matches, my opponents never activated this card on me, so I don't know if people weren't playing it or were playing less than 3. But in a Pendulum deck where you need your entire hand to like make really powerful plays, I feel like this card's absolutely a 3-0. I've used to play 2 of this card in other decks, but I'm pretty adamant about using 3 of this card. The card I hated the most was 3 Wavering Eyes. This card is terrible. This card is not good in this deck. This deck is nothing like the old Pepe deck where you can get plush fire effects and get free monsters. The only good card to kill is Double Iris Magician. There is the combo where you can kill your scales and search for Astrograph, but that combo is also terrible unless you're killing your opponent. The reason why that is not very good is because if you're setting 2 scales, leaving you with down to 3 cards, and then using a Wavering Eyes, putting you down to 3, searching an Astrograph, putting you up another card, searching for the Astrograph, putting you to 4, and then putting 2 scales back down, you're literally only going to be panel summoning like 1 or 2 monsters. You never want to do that. The only reason I did not have this card in my deck before the tournament, but I told all my friends that if I came to the tournament and there were a lot of Pendulum Magicians, I'd be forced to use this card, and thus I was, because you can't just have everyone else playing this card thinking it's good when it's not. Like, you can't go into Pendulum Mirror matches where people are playing Wavering Eyes and you're not. So I was forced to use this card. One of the best decisions I definitely made was using 2 Star Pendulum Graph. This card was in testing when I was using one of it. It was a card that was overperforming. Every time I had it, it was just very good. It makes things like Cosmic Cyclone, Ghost Ogre, so many things just like irrelevant when you have this card. So I added 2, and I loved it the entire time. It just makes it so not only do you search off of you removing your own scales, but then if your opponent ever wants to well, basically it says you will be able to replace one of your scales rather than adding another one to your hand. But from then on, your opponent can never target your scales with any effects to deal with them without just giving you another one. So they're forced to deal with this card beforehand. So it also has like a weird effect where it protects their scales. Like, so I just really love this card. I just can't say it enough. And the last card is 1 Pendulum Call. This card is not very good. It is prone to getting ashed, leaving you with not a lot. You just play 1 so you can search it off Duelist Alliance. It is relevant. It was good as a 1-of, but you never want to see multiples of this card throughout a match, really. I did see that. I think my finals opponent used 3 of it, and that's just like actually insane to me. I'm pretty sure one of this card is fine. And the last was 2 Time Pendulum Graph. Reason why this deck is broken. Without this card, I'm pretty sure this deck would be
Trident.
Yeah, it's super Trident. Yeah, like you have this card, it resolves, you protect it, they can't do anything, you just win. For the extra deck, oh, I didn't even sort this. We had 1 Omega, 1 Ignister, 1 Beals, 1 Crimson Blader, 1 Supreme King Dragon Clearwing, 1 Enlightenment Paladin, 1 Karen Gorgon, 1 Abyss Dweller, Utopia and Utopia Lightning, 2 Time Star Magicians, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Trapeze Magician, and 1 Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom. So I will remove some of the cards that I did not play all weekend, and that would be Crimson Blader I never used, Venom I never used, and I think actually it was Abyss Dweller I never got to use. All these other cards I used. Beals is like very popular because when playing against the Draco deck, you Pendulum Summon, you like summon a Joker and then you Pendulum Summon Harmonized Magician and like another monster. If your opponent, it basically threatens your opponent to have to Masterpiece away your Harmonized Magician, or else you make this card. And because if they don't, you just make this and you out their Masterpiece instantaneously. But they will kill your most people will kill your Harmonizing Magician and then you just overlay for something that kills the Masterpiece anyway, like Utopia Lightning. So the deck has an amazing matchup versus that deck, which is why one of the reasons why I chose to run it, because I was pretty sure that a lot of the good players and even some of the not just were using that deck before and thus wanted to keep playing that deck. That deck is not very good, especially compared to this deck. My favorite cards in the extra deck are absolutely Supreme King Dragon Glitterwing. A lot of people do not know what this card is, so they never see it coming. They literally just lose their entire board a lot. Against ABC, which I played, I think, 3 of. A lot of the times their combo is use Deco Talker and Buster, and if your hand is just like 6 Pendulum monsters and you're able to Pendulum summon, you're able to just their Deco Talker is giving you a link zone, so in that zone you make a Abyss Dweller. Oh no, I definitely did use Abyss Dweller. I lied. I had to because I used it against the ABC decks. You just make Abyss Dweller in the zone that Deco Talker's across from, and then in your own zone you pop this card, which pops their entire field, including the Buster and all the things they tag out into. They get none of their effects. It basically leaves them with like no cards. They'll have like on the next turn they can make a Buster again, but they'll have Buster in like 1 or 2 cards, and you'll still have all your skills. Basically, they'll be able to banish 1 card from you. You just have so many cards that they can't deal with it. I did that to, I'm pretty sure, every single ABC person I played against. Another popular deck this weekend was the Trickster deck, apparently. I feel like that deck is very good at capitalizing on your opponent's ignorance. If they don't know what the cards do, you can just lose instantaneously because you play a search card, and then they draw unlock Trickster Reincarnation you. I played 3 of them, I think, and I beat them all. I just set my cards before playing them. And if they were trying to burn me to death, I just made a Trapeze Magician, which prevents you from basically taking burn damage. Karen Gorgon also helps protecting your trap card from Cosmic Cyclones. Everyone will try and use that card, so if I was ever worried about losing my trap card, I would just make Karen Gorgon. I did that against Michael Spade. I read that he had a Cosmic Cyclone base down, so I just made this card to protect everything, and he proceeded to lose. Sorry, Michael. Other than that, I think everything else is kind of self-explanatory for the extra deck. Maybe not Enlightenment Paladin. Enlightenment Paladin was pretty good. I summoned it once or twice. One time I got back a Wavering Eyes, and one time I got back a Cosmic Cyclone with its effect. And then another time it's also a Dark Spellcaster, so it works with all of your Pendulum effects. So I was able to half my opponent's monster attack with Black Fang, and then double this guy's damage with double Iris, and then attacked over his monster, used my Poison Magician to put him to 37, it doubled the damage, and then they took burn damage from the effect, and it was like 8,000 damage. So that's basically it for that. For my side deck, I had 3 Dango Sekka. I originally sided this card because I thought there was going to be quite a bit of Paleo. I saw a lot of people talking about it and thinking it was good. And ended up being a lot better because I played against the Trickster decks, which were very trap reliant, so I didn't go into a lot of them and was able to win. Probably the MVP of this weekend was Zaphion. This card destroys the True Draco deck. They literally cannot do like anything unless they have a skill drain or something. They just lose all their cards. My opponent went first and summoned a Blue Boy. Used its effect, ended up drawing 2 cards, set 5 back row and pass. During my draw phase, he flipped anti-spell. I summoned this and shuffled every single one of his cards back. So he had 1 card on his on my turn 1. He couldn't do anything. Basically, the same thing happened to all my other True Draco opponents I played against. I had 3 system down if I played against ABC, which I did. I only drew this card once against them though. 3 Cosmic Cyclone for True Draco and the Mirror. For the Mirror, it's really important, not only because it banishes skills, but the Mirror is heavily dictated on who can resolve the trap and keep the trap there. And 3-dimensional barrier. You don't want to main this card because it sucks against True Draco, which is probably the 2nd most popular deck right now. I don't know for how long. But this card is really good in the Mirror and really good against ABC, so I decided it for when it's the Mirror.
Okay. Anything else you want to say? Any shout-outs?
Shout-outs to Max. Sorry, you got 9th.
Oh.
And to all my friends who came with me on this trip and cheered me on the entire time. my business partner and friend Alex in Voltage Games, and Joey Chow, the previous UDS champion.
All right, thank you.